And one of the more anticlimactic matchups that we've ever seen with such a huge build-up. Manal Cap ends up coming up short against Mohamed Makhayev in a matchup which was very low activity until Makhayev won the third round with his grappling. But I really knew I had to rip up that ticket, especially after it looked like Cap injured his foot in the opening minute of the second round. Not a good look. You know, he needs that base for his power so that he can be successful with his striking and even be better with his takedown defense. I thought he did some decent work. There were some very weird moments throughout that matchup, but unfortunately, he was unable to get his hand raised that night. So we rip up our dog of the night ticket. Didn't do too bad on the regional scene. Was able to cash a few underdogs there. But again, the one that matters the most, especially for these segments, is the UFC dog of the night play, and it did not come through for us. All right, I got another 3 dog of the night candidates for you guys this weekend. Feel pretty good about a few of them, but only one can be the ultimate dog of the night. Pretty much. So if you guys want to find out which one I ended up going with, check the MMA LOT and Patreon page, link in the description below for that. Haven't been the hottest with the dog of the night play, but really feel like I can hit some dogs that people may not be thinking about. And there's definitely one on here that I feel like some of these guys are going to be scratching their heads about. So let's get right into it. First dog of the night candidate is going to be Lupita Godinez. Coming in at plus 110, she goes up against Mackenzie Dern. Very binary fight here. Godinez really needs to learn from her last matchup against Verna Jandiroba, where if she's able to keep this fight in the striking realm, she should have a tremendous advantage over Mackenzie Dern. I think we'll see Godinez learn from her mistakes of her last fight and not sticking around in the grappling as much as she did and keeping this fight at distance, utilizing her footwork, combination striking, and her defensive grappling to keep Dern off of her. And I think we'll see Godinez be very successful with that, land the better strikes, and eventually win this fight on the scorecards. The second dog of the night candidate is going to be the most unpopular one likely, but Tony Ferguson at plus 500 is always worth a little bit of a consideration, especially when he's going up against somebody as flaky as Michael Chiesa. Although Ferguson is on a 7-fight losing streak, Michael Chiesa is on a 3-fight losing streak as well and has often gotten submitted by the Darce choke. I think he has the dubious honor of being on the receiving end of the more than half of the Darce choke finishes in the UFC. He's already gotten 3 on his record, unfortunately, and he's going up against somebody who has 3 Darce choke wins of his own. And we know how aggressive Tony Ferguson can be with that front choke series. And again, it hasn't really looked the greatest for him as of late, but going up against somebody as flaky as Michael Chiesa, maybe plus 500 is decent, but even just targeting his submission prop anywhere around plus 800 or better, probably the best way to go about it. But again, this is all line-based here. Chiesa has the capabilities and the blueprint to defeat Ferguson, but he finds himself in too much trouble too often to trust him at such a pricey line that, considering Ferguson, is not out of the realm of possibility. The third and final dog of the night candidate is going to be Michal Oleksiejczuk, who's anywhere between plus 190 and plus 240, as I've been seeing. For the sake of this, we'll go with plus 190, but he's going up against Charles Magomedov on short notice here in the co-main event. This is a striker's battle, obviously, but both guys have 2 different approaches. Oleksiejczuk likes to crowd the pocket, crash the pocket, land big strikes of his own, and really try to break his opponents with his pressure and power. On the flip side, Magomedov likes to utilize a lot of space, a lot of movement, and a lot of kicks, but I think Oleksiejczuk has the perfect ingredients to stifle that type of puzzle. His issue has been his durability in the past and somewhat of his fight IQ, but I do not think Magomedov is as good as people are making him out to be. He might be able to finish Oleksiejczuk early, but if he's unable to, I think the pace and pressure of Oleksiejczuk will really start to catch up to Magomedov, and I think that we'll see Oleksiejczuk do a great job in terms of just crowding that space of Magomedov and not allowing him to be comfortable. And it's not like Magomedov has much of a grappling game to lean on. This guy is a Muay Thai specialist who has nothing to do with the ground game. And I think that we'll see this take place in the striking realm for the most part. And from there, we should see Oleksiejczuk do a good enough job in terms of staying in his face, landing big shots, and potentially even knocking him out. There you guys go. 3 dog of the night candidates for UFC Abu Dhabi. I've posted the official play on the Lock of the Night Patreon page. Link for that in the description below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.